Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We got a fantastic show for you today. Bradley, my friend, how we doing? You looking sharp as always.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely excited to be here today. We're going to see Santa for the first time after this. So I have a real shirt on. Got to be in public today for the first time in a while. But I'm excited to drop some soccer, talk some soccer, and excited to be here with you to recap that sick game last night.
It was awesome. Now, here's the deal. Look, we just put a new rule in on the show. If you don't send in a picture of you with Santa, we're going to have problems. So, yeah, we're going to have that on the show. Get a picture with Santa, and it's going to be fantastic. And, yeah, what about that game last night? Shout out to the Patriots. Get the job done 28-24. And, man, yesterday, the talk around the NFL was injuries. My goodness, man. We saw them all over. Now, here's how we did. 6-4. We'll take it. Kirk Cousins threw a pick. Got it. Titans plus 3.5. Brad, what about this? The Tennessee Titans win outright, baby. Let's go. Bengals money line, got that. Derrick Henry, longest rush, got that. Drake May, over 243.5 passing yards, smoked that. Bills, Browns, over 41.5, got that. Did not get Lamar Jackson. He got hurt. Did not get Jacoby Brissett. He got well. Poor Jacoby's just out there fighting. The Lions, they lose. And the Broncos, they lose. Shout out to the Jaguars, man. But 6-4, Bradley, we will take it, buddy, because yesterday I saw a lot of people having tough days in the NFL. So we will not complain about the day that we had yesterday. So good to see all of you. Hope you're having a good day. Zach, my man, said tips off in 1 hour. Fordham, first half minus 3.5 and over 58.5 plus 145. Absolutely love it. Now, Freddie Bear said, please hit your like button. DTL Show's the only show that comes on 7 days a week. Freddie Bear, let's go, my boy. And Big Freddie, I hope you're having a wonderful Monday, my friend. You deserve it. So good to see everybody. Ian said, I, for one, welcome the Chiefs' new Tennessee overlords. Kent Brockman gets me every. Dude, they had the graphic ready to go. All right, let's get into it because, Brad, we've got a big day today. All right, we're going to talk soccer, obviously. We're going to talk the NFL tonight, obviously. But we've got to update our college football playoff brackets, and we're going to set up, all right, the next round. We've got time. Don't worry. We're not playing again until, like, New Year's Eve, all right? So we got a minute. But we have to set up the actual bracket and then our 90s and 2000s WWE superstars bracket, because we had an upset, baby. All right, so let's get into it. Bradley, it's going to be a great freaking day today, all right? Howie Schwab, crew play today. Speaking of the NFL, where are you going tonight? Now, here's the deal. 49ers at the Colts, okay? So we've got Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey against Phillip Rivers, baby. Phillip Rivers is in prime time tonight at home. The old Cowboy's going to be slinging it. So where are you going? 49ers minus 5.5. Colts plus 5.5 at home. Over 45.5 or under 45.5. All right, what are you feeling here, Brad? You feeling the 49ers on the road? Or are you feeling Phillip Rivers and the Colts?
You know, I kind of like two sides to this. And there's absolutely no way that I am not taking Phillip Rivers plus 6.5, maybe by a point plus 6. And then I also like that over. I think both teams are going to be scoring tonight. I know it's prime time, but I think we're scoring. So over, and give me the Colts, baby. Philly.
There we go. Dude, somebody made a TikTok video, and I wish I had like the link to send it out, but it was off of Old School. And you know when they're in the van picking up the pledges, you know? And they're picking up, and it shows that clip, and they're like picking up the old guy, you know, and they're like, wait, is he pledging? And they go, and he goes, Old Man River, he won't shut up about it.
You're my boy, bro.
Then it said Old Man River, then it showed Phillip Rivers standing there waiting to get picked up. Oh, man, it was good. All right, let's jump into it. It's so good to see everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, to break down everything for Monday Night Football, 49ers at the Colts. A big, big game tonight. But in order to start that, Bradley, we got to get some picks. Let's get it. All right, talk to me, big dog. What do we got?
It's a light Monday in the world of footy, but we got one of our favorite leagues playing today, the second division of the Netherlands, the Eerste Divisie. We're looking at one of those young teams, the young Ajax, which is the top flight Ajax, but their second team at home taking on Walwake. We're looking for 3 total goals to at least push us, but 4 total goals giving us that cash. These two teams are trending specifically in their home and away splits the way I typically like it. Walwake is now conceded in 28 straight away from home. Really important because they're away from home today. They hit both teams to score regularly, over 2.5 regularly, coming in smashing those totals as well in the matchup history. And then you look at the league in its entirety, which we're going to talk about later in the show. Over 2.5 goals is hitting around 83% of the trending 30 matches coming into this. So we like goals, baby. 3 goals gives us that push. 4 goals gets us that full cash at minus 125.
Beautiful work, my friend. All right, how do we pronounce these again? Say it again.
Well, the young Ajax, so the younger team,
Yeah.
young. It's like kind of in between that yeah type of sound. And then you got Walwake. It's Wayk. They're like right in between 2 words, both of them. So it's perfect for us English speaking Americans who have no clue.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a couple reps. All right, I need a few ground balls, like pregame. Let me go out to short. Just hit me, hit some fungo. All right, I need some reps. All right, Philip Rivers. I hate to do it to you, Bubba. I love it. He gonna show up wearing a bolo tie. All of it. Philip Rivers is my guy. It pains me to play him to throw a pick, but the 49ers are pretty good. All right. They're pretty good and they're known for playing physical defense. All right. So, how I felt after our family Christmas of playing all time quarterback, and I was worn out. Rivers going to be on the run tonight, man. All right. Yeah. What were you going to say?
No, just Philip, man. I love the guy. He's going to be slinging it. If I was his age, I was coming back to the NFL, AB. You know I'd be a gunslinger throwing that ball all around. And, he'll probably throw a pick.
Probably so. And I love him. Like, dude, he's going to have more energy than anybody on the field. No question. No question about it.
Great trash talker, too.
Oh, remember when he was out in the field fighting Jay Cutler? He's like, you want some of this pretty boy? He called him pretty boy. Cuddy didn't want any of that. Dude, I got a feeling fighting Philip Rivers would be intense. Like, he's going to keep coming. You're blasting him, dude, with just hammers, and he just keeps coming. You're like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who's like, hit me again. It felt good.
You're like, I'm going to have to put this psycho down. All right. Rivers, I hate to do it to you, Bubba, but we're going to throw a pick tonight. Juwan Jennings, my dude, over 4.5 receptions. The 49ers definitely, I think, are going to play some short yardage passing. And not that Juwan won't expand it down the field, but I definitely think that in that tight end position, he's going to get a lot of usage in that. It's going to be an extension of the run game, really. And then Klay Thompson, I'm coming back to it. I want Klay coming off the bench tonight on the road. Going to get some opportunities here. We only need over 2.5, so let's pop that. Michael said this just in. AARP confirmed that the Colts playbook finally finished printing on Philip Rivers' fax machine this morning. Dude, I have so much respect for Philip Rivers, man. Like, I really do. However this thing turns out, I mean, respect to him, man. The dude's out here just getting after it. All right. Now, Brad, we also had goal scores over the weekend. Talk to us, man.
Man, it was close, AB. Dennis Undav got there, but then VAR came out of nowhere and pulled his goal, which is really frustrating. And that match in general was just a weird match, a very surprising 0-0. Those two teams don't do it very often. In fact, Stuttgart hasn't had like a 0-0 in something like 60 games. So very irregular. And he scored, but then somebody took it away from us. But you know who came through for us? Lamine, your boy, your maul. He actually scored. And not only did he scored with a toe blast, AB. The toe poke right in the box, real quick, bang, right to the corner. Young Buck does it again for us. And you know those three guys, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, all of them priced out of the market for us to play. They all three scored. So we'll still be looking for them again when those numbers drop for us.
Dude, nice. You said the toe poke. You said Young Buck. Shout out to Young Buck, Nashville's own. All right. Shorty want to ride. All right. Anyways, everybody's like, all right, we ain't listening to Young Buck today on a Monday. And I say that we are. Now, Big Tony asked as we get into the show, AB, how many TDs, INTs did you throw as all-time QB? Here's the problem. All right. My own flesh and blood was on the other side. My nephew was out there running a cover 0 man press on me at the age of 12. And my man was locking it down. I was proud of him. I threw a few TDs, though. He got me on one. Not going to lie. He got me on one. I was proud of it. And I didn't set it up for him either. He picked me off clean. I love it, man. All right. Let's jump into the show. Okay. As we get into the show, how about an early touchdown parlay, Brad? Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey at plus 106. What do we think tonight? That's it. Whatever happens in the game doesn't matter. We just need a touchdown from Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. Quick double up of our money. What do you think?
The best Jonathan Taylor since Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You know JT is going to get it in. He's basically the entire offense. I actually think he might get a little dump off and run it in with Phillip under center. That is a sick parlay, and I'm definitely going to be tailing that.
There we go. Now, Big Tony said, look, only plus 106? No, thanks. And that's why I bring it up, because touchdown scores aren't easy, even if it's dudes like this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Tony, totally understood. And, dude, Big Tony out here, dude, got to give him another shout out. Miami Hurricanes got the job done against Texas A&M. Hate it for any A&M fans out there, but playoffs are the playoffs, man. So, Big Tony, great job with your Miami Hurricanes. All right, let's jump into it, Brad. We got the NFL tonight. 49ers of the Colts, like we said. 49ers, 5.5-point favorites. A total of 45.5. So, again, looking at the spread, looking at this total, 45 is the NFL average. So your total is right there. 49ers, 5.5-point favorites. You're kind of a little bit in no man's land, right? Need more than a field goal. Don't quite need a touchdown. 5.5 is a good number, though, because what it does is it gives you protection if there's a missed extra point, a 2-point conversion attempt out of nowhere, right? A wild Jeff Jarrett appears. Like, dude, 5.5, think about it as like you're basically playing 7, but you're getting a little insurance there on that 1 point. Not a bad number to play it at. But what are we going to get out of tonight? So Brock Purdy, the 49ers, we know their story. They're 10-4. They're the real deal, right? But same thing that they deal with every year, injuries, et cetera, all that, which every NFL team deals with this time of year, and not just NFL. I mean, it's every sport. When you start getting to the final 3 weeks of the regular season, it's a long season, man. Long season of sleeping in hotel beds, eating a plate of eggs while you're on a bus on the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that road life, it'll wear on you. It does, That's why, like, playing at home, man, it's not always about, like, the stadium. And I mean, it is. You're in your own locker room. But a lot of it is that, dude, you shower at your own house, man. You eat your own food. You see your wife and kids, right? Like, playing in the NFL on a game day, like you're driving from your house. You know what I mean? Like you've got a player's parking lot. Like it's nice. It's nice. It doesn't mean the world, but it's nice, especially for a guy like Phillip Rivers.
I was going to say he might be better away from home with all those kids at home. Oh, geez.
That one year with the Chargers when he bought an RV and he lived at the facility. I'm telling you, Phillip Rivers is the ultimate teammate, dude. Ultimate teammate, man. Like, I can never say a negative thing about Rivers. That dude's awesome. But what are we going to get tonight? Let me pull this full screen. I know that the numbers can be a little small, tough to see. Father Whale said, good morning, crew. Do small things with great love. Whale, so good to see you, buddy. Glad that you say that. I agree. All right, passing. Brock Purdy, over under 245.5. That's a healthy number. All right. Phillip Rivers. Brad, what are we doing? Over under 159 yards. It's rare that you see a game where one quarterback is projected to have 100 yards more, roughly, yards of passing. But here we are. So what do you think? You going Rivers over under basically 160?
Man, age is definitely factored into this number, isn't it? They're wondering, hey, is this guy going to finish the game?
Yep.
$160.
And he's at home.
A lot.
And I didn't mean to interrupt you. Let me add this in. They're at home, meaning we're in a dome, right? Like there's no weather. There's none of that. All right, continue.
There's no way I'm going under on Phillip Rivers right now. Just like one of those moments where if I was in his position, I would be slinging it. Like, what do you have to lose? You're out there to have a good time, to get it in one last time in your career. I hadn't done it forever. I'm slinging that ball.
I agree. Phillip Rivers is going to be chucking it, right? But here's the deal with this too. Number one, 49 is pretty good. Number two, like the average depth yard of pass is going to be like 3 yards tonight. Now, Rivers is you're going to get Rivers. You're going to have to hurt him. You're going to have to break his legs, man. Like Rivers is the ultimate gamer. That said, you are going to get, like last night we broke down that the average yard of pass would be about 5 yards. Tonight for Rivers, look at about 3. And I don't mean that negatively. It's just offensive line, you got those things, and you got Jonathan Taylor.
But also, even I guess the way I'm looking at this,
yep.
5.5 point underdog. Let's say he gets down at all, he's gonna have to throw more. Theoretically, I mean, if there's less time, he needs to stop the clock. He's gonna have to throw the ball more. 160, you could get that in the cheap time.
Yep, you could, man. I know, like it's an affordable number. You know what I mean? Now, looking at rushing yards. All right, let me pull this full screen. Jonathan Taylor over under 96.5. So there's the other side of that equation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, 62.5 yards. Brian Robinson Jr., 22.5 over under. Brock Purdy, 11.5. Now, we don't see Rivers on here. Is Rivers getting 1 rushing yard? You in or out?
He's going to have to fall forward at some point.
Yeah, he is. Now, touchdowns. Okay. So start getting prepared for tonight. We have time, obviously. You could drop them in. Well, don't drop them in. Wait for tonight because it's a lot to keep track of. But start thinking about it. First TD score is going to start roughly around Juwan Jennings. Let me pull this full screen. Juwan Jennings is around plus 950. This is DraftKings, so yeah, you better pick it other spots here. Prince says Colts have won 5 straight against the 49ers and 6 of the last 8 against them. Great stat right there. Addison, this is it for Indy. Must win. Leave it all out there. That's very true. So, anyways, Juwan Jennings, Tyler Warren, Michael Pittman, Brian Robinson, Josh Downs, Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne. Going to be tough tonight. Let me tell you, Brad, I'm going to go ahead and make a bet. You ready for this? Juwan Jennings at plus 1,000 going to be a popular pick tonight. I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of people on Juwan Jennings. So, watch those numbers. They'll move throughout the day. It's going to be fascinating. All right, let's get the picks back up here. Brad, let's talk a little soccer. What you got, buddy?
We're going second division Dutch, the Netherlands, Eerste Divisie, Young Ajax, the second team of one of our favorites. Ajax is at home taking on Walwake. We're looking for 3 total goals to give us at least a push at -125, but 4 goals gives us that full cash.
Beautiful work. All right, Phillip Rivers, 1+ interception, -125. Juwan Jennings over 4.5 receptions, -115. Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks over 2.5 threes at -105. Also, touchdowns tonight. Should you feel inclined, Jonathan Taylor of the Colts, anytime TD. Christian McCaffrey of the 49ers, anytime TD. That comes out to +106. Now, Greg asked a great question, Brad, as we move into soccer. AB and Brad, would you rather never have to pay for a drink again or never get hangovers?
Easy.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Never get hungover. That's the worst feeling in the world, is to be hungover. It literally stops me from drinking altogether. So, even if it was Burnett's, that's cheap. At least, if it didn't give me that terrible hangover.
Yeah. I'm going with the free drinks. Look, okay, not that we're going to get back into the Excedrin game. We're not doing that again. YouTube wasn't a fan of that, okay? So, healthy options. Get up, drink a glass of water, 15 minutes on a treadmill. You don't have to go fast. It's going to suck, but do it, and then take a shower, all right? Free drinks are free drinks. That said, though, I'm with you on the hangover because, look,
I'm a wimp. I'm a wimp these days.
I'm not 22 anymore. Yeah. All right, chat. Where are you going? This is a great question, Greg. Please continue. And I know that I missed some. I promise I'll get to them, right? But I love them. All right, I'm going not paying for a drink again. But yeah. Goal Molly 1-0 64th minute or 1-0 64th minute. Sorry. Shout out if you tell the live bet in the chat. Big Prince. Look at Prince. Bring it. All right. Speaking of steak, I just saw this down here for Scotty. We'll get to that in a second. I'm medium rare, by the way. No questions asked on that one. You medium well? My dad's medium well. Loves it. I don't mind it. Like, I'll take a steak anyway, but medium rare. Brad, what about you?
I like if there was between medium rare and medium, like right in between, like medium rare. That would be my ideal.
Yeah. We'll call it like medium dare or something. That was terrible. All right. Give me something good. We got some soccer on that board. Talk to us, man.
We're talking about the Netherlands, and obviously because we got a pick today. But when you look at the top versus the second flight of a lot of these leagues around the world, I've talked about this, and we're going to highlight it because it really matters. When you are placing bets, you have a better opportunity to get goals typically in these second divisions. A lot of these teams in the second divisions can't get promoted. So they just play football. They don't worry about goals coming into their net, how many they score. They typically don't look for a shutout. Don't just sit back and play. The coach wants them to play a particular brand of football as well as improve. So you're constantly doing things to improve on the field, and that doesn't necessarily mean we have to win. So a lot of times these second divisions will have higher goal scoring totals. And if you look at the Netherlands, it's no different. The top flight typically scores pretty high. Both teams to score over 2.5, not as great this season, just over 50%. But then you look at the second division, the last 3.5 to 4 weeks, we have hit over 2.5 now in 25 of 30 matches. 80%, trending to 3.5 as well at about 80%. So if you're looking for goals, take a look at these second divisions. Netherlands 2, like we have today, specifically Young Ajax and Walwijk.
Young Ajax. Let's go. I don't know why I just did that. Well done, Brad. Now, a couple things in the chat. Z Money said, "Isn't there a medium plus? I think that would be the sweet spot for Brad's take." That's a good call. See, learn something new every day. Medium plus, baby.
I've never heard that, so I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, hey, that's why communication is the greatest tool.
It's funny because like you look at like color prisms, right? You also have the steak color prisms. You got like, shoot, like there's a lot of them out there. You know,
Yeah.
medium rare. That it just doesn't cover the whole boat.
Yeah. Big Tony said he's going medium rare on the steak and actually going to Texas Roadhouse for Christmas Eve dinner, prime rib all day. Tony, I hope you have the best Christmas Eve dinner that you could possibly have because you deserve that, which the whole crew does. And number two, I flipping love Texas Roadhouse. Love it. You could take me to Texas Roadhouse anytime, and I'm in. Oh, Big Tony, man, I love it, dude.
I got the more important question with your steak, AB. How do you take it after, or how do you prepare it?
What do you mean? Give me.
So, like, are you just a salt and pepper guy with some butter, and then are you a steak sauce guy? How do you take your steak?
Steel pan, butter, and definitely have to. You have to hit that piece of meat a night before, right? That's the key to it. You hit that steak, man, dude, with some salt.
So you like to beat the meat the night before?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Tenderize it up, man. Salt that bad boy up. Yeah, that's how I get down. Now, I definitely am, you start bringing in, Worcestershire, what is it? Liam Perrin or whatever, like all of those, I'm down. Like we could marinate in that or we could marinate in nothing. You know what I mean? What about you?
Yeah, just butter, salt, pepper, cook, and then a little bit of sear on the outside. So you got that nice medium rare, nice little crisp on the outside. Just butter, salt, pepper, no sauce.
Dude, my man Joe said medium rare. Nice work. I like the way you operate right there, my friend. All right. So let's talk college football playoff, man. So we've talked about the NFL. We talked about soccer here. So here we go. Brad, what are we looking at here, man? All right. So quarterfinals start December 31st. So let's set the stage for where we're at. It is Monday, December 22nd. Okay. So we have time. We're not doing our full breakdown of all this right here, but we need to introduce it, set it up. Okay. So what do the quarterfinals look like? We got Oregon against Texas Tech. All right. Alabama at Indiana. We got Ole Miss and Georgia, SEC right here. And then Big Tony. Look at Big Tony's Miami Hurricanes, baby. That's why we're eating prime rib all day. Hurricane season. Miami and Ohio State. How good does this sound? We've had some games before. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be fantastic, man. So now let's set up the wrestling bracket of what we have. That's right. Chris Jericho takes out the big boss man, setting up Chris Jericho against The Undertaker. Oh, my goodness. What a match this is going to be. And then Ric Flair against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Here comes Indiana and Sig, baby, going up against the old guard, Alabama Crimson Tide, Kalen DeBoer and them boys. All right. Look at this one here. Ooh, little Southeast matchup, baby. We got Jeff Jarrett, the promotions behind him, and then Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. Now, we had The Rock. Yeah, Matty Boy said, how was The Rock not Miami? Good question. I wanted to get Razor Ramon in here out of respect. I love The Rock. Shout out to you. But you know what? Miami is Razor territory, baby. The bad guy. I love it. And speaking of Razor Ramon, look at him in the quarterfinals, baby, against the Hulkster. We got the Hulkster. All right, Brad, looking at this in terms of a wrestling matchup, you got Chris Jericho or The Undertaker?
Man, I was such an Undertaker and Kane fan. I loved the entire thing about them and the way that they just carried themselves. The Undertaker meme where he comes out of the coffin, gotta be my favorite meme. Give me the Undertaker taking on Chris Jericho, no doubt. But the Stone Cold matchup's tough.
It is. Oh, it is. All right. Got the Undertaker and Paul E. Bear, baby. All right. Ric Flair and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Where you going?
I gotta go Stone Cold, man. Stone Cold is such a legend. I think Ric Flair was just a little bit before me, so I never really got the big Ric Flair thing.
Yeah. Matty Boy says, I do love buffalo chicken dip. Man, I do too. Dude, it's so good. And with just some just decent, not saltines, just some decent like salted, tortilla chips. Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite dip?
It might be buffalo chicken, honestly.
Okay.
Well, no. Spinach and artichoke. I am a spinach and artichoke guy throughout. What about you?
It's a bit different one than you're probably thinking, but olive oil, Parmesan, it's like oregano, a little bit of salt and pepper with some focaccia bread. Son, that I could die. Like that is it for me.
That's it. Look, I used to play golf with Sergeant Slaughter once a year. How awesome is that? How did that happen? Was he cool? He seems like he's awesome, man. All right, Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels. Where are you going?
I'm going to take The Rock. I'm just going to insert him into my bracket here. No, I never really liked Shawn Michaels, to be quite honest. So give me Jeff Jarrett.
All right. Razor Ramon and the Hulkster.
Hulk, baby.
Going with the Hulkster. There we go. All right, we're gonna see who goes over. Starting to get down to the final four after this one. All right. So let's take a look at these games. Just introduce them. Miami and Ohio State. So remember, they start on OH. There you go. They start Wednesday. This is on a Wednesday. So throw that into an equation that we're playing these games on Wednesday and Thursday. All right, New Year's Eve, Miami and Ohio State, baby. Ohio State 9.5-point favorite, total of 42.5. Thank you, Ben. Pick that up. Nice work. Always count on a Buckeye fan. They'll get you. All right, Brad, what do we think about this one? Now, you don't have to make any official pick. We've got time. But in these games, we're just introducing it. Like, off rip, what are you thinking?
Ohio State team total.
Okay, there we go. So you're feeling Ohio State here? There we go.
I think they score at least 28.
Yep. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's on Wednesday. We have one game on New Year's Eve. Okay, now, New Year's Day. Let me pull this full screen. Oregon, Texas Tech, early game. Oregon. Now, remember, these games are at neutral sites. Okay? So, Miami at Ohio State, that is at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Okay? Oregon, Texas Tech, that's in Miami. Alabama, Indiana, that's at the Rose Bowl in Los Angeles. Ole Miss in Georgia, live from the Superdome, baby. No other place to play that game but New Orleans. Perfect spot. Okay. So, Oregon, Texas Tech. Oregon, 1.5-point favorite, total of 52.5. Okay. You think Oregon continues here for Texas Tech?
I'm going over in points if I can.
Yeah, no, that absolutely. Like, not, setting any official picks or anything, just which way are we going? It could be spread, could be total.
We're going on the side. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but I think they go out there and score a lot. Typically, Oregon has a lot of points when I've seen it. I know that's a dumb take, but watch Texas A&M. They got a pretty decent quarterback, I believe, and they can score. So I'm taking the over in that.
Yeah, no, like, that's the thing, man, is don't overthink it. You know what I mean? Like, now, I'm not saying that the first thing that goes in your head, that has to be like your play, but since we have time, Write down. You know what I mean? Like, I just take notes. Like, okay, this is kind of what I think. This is what I think. And then you can tree branch from there. So, no, Brett, I think you're approaching this the most intelligent way from a betting angle, right? So, Alabama and Indiana. And yeah, you guys, please keep dropping your thoughts on these games. I'll get those on the screen just a second. Alabama, Indiana. Okay. So, Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. Indiana, a 7-point favorite, total of 48.5. What are you seeing here?
I think I want to take the under here. Just the match under total at 48.5. I think that the life could just get sucked out of this game at some point. So give me the under.
There we go. All right. And Ole Miss and Georgia. Okay. These are all on New Year's Day, Thursday, right? So Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Georgia, these three. Georgia, 6.5-point favorite, total of 55.5. What are you seeing here?
I'm taking Georgia. There's no way I'm betting on Ole Miss. Give me Georgia and the points.
Mm-hmm.
Give me more than that. Give me 14 points. I think Georgia smashes.
Georgia's pretty good. Now, the interesting thing with these games, and I don't know how it's going to be this year, but there was an advantage to playing that first game last year in the college football playoff, right? There was value in that. I don't know. The playoff's different now. Obviously, we've got more teams. I don't know. Last year could mean something. It could mean nothing. We're all doing this for the first time live, right? Speaking of these games, like Miami and Ohio State. Okay, so the first question is that Miami defense showing up again? Because if so, this game's going to be 9-6. I don't know where that Miami defense came from. And your boy with the beard on the coaching staff for Miami is a dog. I love him. My man is out here going wild. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not saying anything negative about Miami's offense, right? That game was what it was. Texas A&M has a great defense, man. And they had to do it on the road in a hostile environment. Now, you're going to need more offense. Obviously, we all know that. Yeah, Tony said Miami needs a kicker to come through NIL this week. Also true. But, yeah, like this is the question, man, is like Ohio State's got a really good defense. But good Lord. That Miami defense was, dude, there's 85 Bears out here, man. They were just, boom, hitting everything moving. Huge respect to it, man. Scott said Ohio State could be favored by 21. I still will take Ohio State. Miami played a physical game against Texas A&M. Can't recover. That's a good point, man. Interesting, right? What does the recovery time look like? We've got a week and a half. And then these teams, like Ohio State, yeah, well, they played the Big Ten championship, but like, dude, the team's been sitting a little bit. So fascinated with that one. Taking a look here at Oregon and Texas Tech. So Oregon gets the win over James Madison. Certainly wasn't pretty, Brad. James Madison put up some points, and Dan Lanning wasn't that happy about it. He actually said after the game, "This is not we didn't play to our standard." So, and I believe him in the coaching. It's kind of the best of both worlds when you're a coach. When you win, but you didn't play that great, so you can get on their tail a little bit. You can yell at it. Here's the problem. It's hard to yell at a team when they're like 13-0. It's hard to make up things to get on them every day. You know what I'm saying? Right? So there's a little bit of a coaching aspect, and I'm not saying that they're 13-0, but they're 12-1. It's hard because you're as a player saying, the hell are you yelling at me for? You know, I've been doing my job. Ease up. But it's a good coaching up moment. Now, here's the deal. Texas Tech, they're the ultimate wild card, Brad. Texas Tech, we put them as the Undertaker for a reason, bro. Like, this team can put up 35, and their defense can hold you to nothing and make you eat it. And they don't give a damn about anybody. Like, they're the I don't know what to do with this team, but they have been stomping people's faces Like, there hasn't been a letdown. There hasn't been any of that. Like, they've just been just bulldozing folks. And there's nothing that said that that's stopping. Ask BYU about it. They caught it twice. And BYU is good. Texas Tech's the real deal. But I say that college football playoffs different. And this is their first game, too. Remember, they didn't play last week. So does that play into it? Like Ohio State, last year, they won the national championship, played in every round. Like, they're not going to be nervous. You know, like, you'll have nerves, don't get me wrong. But Texas Tech, they didn't win a national championship last year. They weren't in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole lot different with Texas Tech, but we're going to find out. So we have time on that one, but man. All right, Alabama and Indiana. Okay. I have got to think that Indiana is saying, all right, you see what Oklahoma did against Alabama? That's the game plan. Except you got to do it for 60 minutes, not 30. And I'm not coming at Oklahoma. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, like, as a coach, you're saying Oklahoma had the correct mentality. And that's what Indiana, you need to take Alabama out of this game. Because Alabama is kind of like, you don't want to give them a chance. Don't do it. Because they're the danger with that. And I'm not saying they're going to get the call. Like, I'm not saying that. They just don't die, man. But with this Indiana team, they don't either. And we did. Yeah, okay. Scott says Indiana by 1 million. I respect everything about Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, all of it. That team is fighting like hell. But anybody that has this mentality, like, I can't argue it. Not that I'm trying to, right? But Indiana is a flipping wagon, man. And I don't say this as like, hey, I don't think Bama's that good. Like, they're going to get blown out. Indiana in this position could blow out anybody, and it wouldn't surprise me. Remember, this team went into the Big Ten championship and won that too. They are 13-0 and the number 1 seed. They're the real deal Holyfield, right? So, yeah. But as Hawk says, Kalen DeBoer is 18-3 versus top 25 teams between Washington and Bama. Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a football coach. He is, man. Like, now, if I was a Washington fan, I don't think I'd be a fan of him, right? And I'm certainly not saying that Hawk is. Like, I'm agreeing with everything Hawk's saying. Like, Kalen DeBoer is no joke, man. And this dude's gone through hell down there and lived through it. There's something to be said for that. But the concern is that Indiana, like, you know, we talked about how you got to watch out for baby venomous snakes, because adult venomous snakes know how to govern the amount of venom that they need in a bite. Babies just send the whole thing, right? Full send venom because they don't know. So it's more dangerous to get by a baby than an adult because you're getting all of that. That's how Indiana is. Like, I have to believe that they know the longer that this game goes close, it ain't good for them because the pressure's not on Alabama anymore. Kalen DeBoer has gone far enough for the screaming. It's Alabama. They're a passionate fan base, but like, that win over Oklahoma was pretty damn big. Now, again, Alabama plays for championships, and that's it. And I respect that standard. I am that's not saying anything negative about Alabama football. How could I? But the pressure's on Indiana in this game. So we've got time, but I have to believe that Indiana is going to come out and say, I want 1,000 points as soon as possible. We'll see. We got time on that. Now, Ole Miss and Georgia. Okay. Here's the question, Brad. Big question. So going into this, the last round was Lane Kiffin. He ain't here anymore. And Ole Miss went out and beat the slaw out of Tulane. Now, Tulane, it's fair to ask, should they have been there? Very fair. Here's the question with Ole Miss. There was a lot of emotion that went into that game. There was a lot. Now, you've got 2 weeks or a week and a half to get past that. And they will. 24-hour rule, right? Win or lose, 24-hour rule. Celebrate it for, a day, then we got to move on, baby, right? That said, though, it's easier said than done. I worry that Ole Miss could have a big letdown. I'm not saying it happens, but any better out there, it needs to at least be on the radar. Yeah, Tony, they've got Ole Miss has all the coaches as long as that they're in. Yeah, and then once Ole Miss is out of the playoff, the offensive coaches they'll go to LSU with Lane Kiffin. So they've got that. Everybody that was there in last week is there. But yeah, they ain't playing Tulane, as Scott said. They're playing Georgia. Now, let's remember what we talked about and saw all year, and Scott, Hawk were huge parts of this. Georgia has been a live bet dream all year long. Georgia rarely ever scores first, but they score last. Right? There's no question about 60 minutes under Kirby Smart. Hoss, we don't even ask those stupid questions around here. It built in. Welcome to Georgia. You know what I mean? I'm concerned with Ole Miss. Now, if you get Ole Miss to come out and score first, yeah, as Hawk says, live, no doubt. We're still cart path only in effect here with this, right? So if Ole Miss comes out, be ready to go immediately because Georgia's coming back. Ole Miss played their yep. I'm concerned about that. It's nothing against Ole Miss. It's human nature. It's human nature. There was a lot of freaking emotion that went into that. And not only for the coaches, for the players, for the families, for the staff, for everybody. Look, I do a radio show every week with someone on the Ole Miss football radio broadcast. I'm telling you, they felt it, man. Everybody did, right? So it's a concern. Now, we've got time to break down this game, and we're going to hit it from team total angles, all of that stuff. But as a bettor, we need to at least just put a little asterisk there beside Ole Miss and say, okay. And it might not be anything. Ole Miss can very much come out and win this game. Like any of these teams now we're live, right? You know what I mean? Like this thing is kicking off for real. But it concerns me. So we'll talk about that. We'll keep an eye, monitor practice each day, and talk about that literally because, yeah. And if anybody out there, if you're somebody who likes to check out local media, go to on3.com. Go check them out. You'll be able to get local beat writers for every one of these teams. I used to work with most of them, right? That cover all these schools that are on site, all that. phenomenal. Just go to on3.com and find your team. You'll have practice reports, everything that you want every single day. I assure you of that. Fantastic people. All right, let's go and hit our picks, and then we'll jump out of here, Brad. I know you got Santa today. All right, what do we got, big dog?
We're going to the second division of the Netherlands at 1 p.m. Central Time. Young Ajax, the second team of Ajax, is taking on Waalwijk. We're looking for 4 total goals, but 3 total goals gives us that push. 4 total goals will cash us in full. I got that at minus 125.
Beautiful work, my friend. All right, Philip, I hate to do it to you, bro. Going Philip Rivers, throw an interception tonight, minus 125. Juwan Jennings of the 49ers going to go over 4.5 receptions, minus 115. And then Clay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks, over 2.5 threes at minus 105. And then little 2-leg parlay, if you're interested tonight. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown of the Colts. Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown of the 49ers. All right. Brad, any final thoughts before we get out of here, buddy?
It's a slow week in soccer. We have the AFCON, which is going on, the African Cup of Nations. So there will be a few matches scattered in the next couple days. But a lot of these leagues around the world are also respecting the Christmas holiday period. So the next few days, very, 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 very slow. Friday has a bit more before Saturday is really the big bulk when football kind of returns from this miniature break where we have a few matches and African Cup of Nations. So just be careful. The next few days is not a time to be throwing away a lot of money at the world of football. Look for it this weekend, and we'll be back for that.
Nice. So you're saying set up a little Venmo account, label it stocking, and just save your money in there.
Yeah. Don't hit the bets. Just throw them into that account. Absolutely.
All right. Maddie, I said, Brad, you better figure out what you're going to tell Santa you want for Christmas. Are you prepared for this? Do you know what you want?
I'd like for Santa to pay off my mortgage, but I don't think Santa's financially capable of that. So I'm going to have to think of something else, maybe something a little less financially risk averse for the old man. Maybe just something to take care of the family and stop us getting sick.
There you go. Dr. Santa. Dr. Mario. Hey, look, so you're telling me Santa needs to he needs to contact SoFi.
Yeah. Get your medical degree. Get over here.
I love it. All right. Now, okay. How old is the little one?
She is just over 9 months. She'll be 10 months in January.
Okay. So number 1, congratulations to you and Scotty. Number 2, how is the little one going to do? Like, are we setting the baby on Santa's lap alone? How does this go? I don't have kids, so I'm fascinated with the operation of this.
Yeah, we'll find out, I think. She's pretty good with most people, but sometimes things can scare her a little bit real quick, but then she'll get comfortable. If we're there with her, I think she'll be fine. If we just go and set her up and leave her, she might get a little worried. But
yeah, that was my concern. It as a kid, it would feel like you're giving me away to someone dressed up.
Yeah, she's just starting to notice us when we leave her, like daycare in the morning. She'll start to cry a little bit for the first time, which is an interesting thing. But you'll have to talk to TJ and Maddie, some of the other guys in the chat who have kids. They might know exactly what to expect.
Okay, so speaking of that, but on a larger level, like not Santa, but like on a larger level, people say, oh, we need to toughen up. Like, don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. No. 1 second. Being aware and nervous when things don't feel right, a gut feeling. No. That's what kept human beings alive for however long that it's been. Don't look at me for that answer. But no. It's a good thing. Trust those instincts, okay? Because that is a very important tool. So, yeah, as a kid, being handed away, rightfully so. And the interesting part is that child is 9 months old, has no idea mentally, right? What the thought of giving away, my parents are gone, who's going to feed me? What am I going to do for school? None of those thoughts. However, right, that feeling is embedded in a human being's DNA that will understand it without understanding it. Isn't that wild? I don't know where I was going.
It is. I mean, it's literally innate in human nature to be aware of your dangers around you. Something is unfamiliar, it should give you that feeling. If not, you've got to check what you're feeling.
I know, like, and it's what, like, and that's what I was getting at. It's like, it's so fascinating that, like, the brain doesn't know, at 9 months of, oh, am I gonna have safe housing and warm blanket? Like, no clue on that, but knows, dad's handing me away. Not good. And that doesn't look like mom. I'm fascinated to see everything. And look, I'm not saying that to, like, be scared. All of that fascinates me, man. All right, we'll get out of here on that. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. We'll be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Until then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us?